So you were in the market for a Mark IV Golf GTI, something like this one, key that cinematic play. Boosh!
Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
Hey guys, what is going on? Thank you for checking out this video of the Mark IV Golf GTI. Now, when I was looking for this car and the Golf GTI kind of franchise, I wish I found a video just like this one that put everything together, all of the issues wrong with the Mark IV Golf GTI, so I could make an informed buying decision, I guess, on what I wanted and what I was looking for. I couldn't find a video like this on the internet. So I thought I would make one, and these are kind of the issues that I've found within the last probably 6 months of ownership that I would recommend that you look out for or avoid. Maybe not so much avoid, but you could probably haggle the price somewhat with some of these issues, especially some of the more major mechanical ones. If you've got any of those, then you can probably haggle a lot of money off the price of a Mark IV Golf GTI. Now, to start off with, I want to just apologise for having literally no videos in about a month. I've been away, I've been planning videos, stuff's been going on, so that's why there's been no videos. However, we're back on a cold winter's day in England, so here are I guess I'm going to try and go for 5. I can think of 5 issues with this car so far, but there's a lot more that I've heard of, and I can kind of see the issue already forming in this car, so I'll probably chuck those in also. Anyway, make sure you hit that like button. You guys have been smashing that like button recently. It's been helping the channel out a lot. So without further ado, let's get into the, I don't know, we'll go for top 5. If there's more, then we'll just carry on. Thank you. So one of the biggest issues that I've found with the Mark IV Golf GTI is the issue relating to the water pump. So in the Golf GTI and the Audi TT and other cars from that kind of group in that era, they use a plastic impeller within the water pump to basically cool the engine. Now, as you can imagine, when you're revving a car really hard or you're driving it quite aggressively, over time, you know, these cars are like 20 years old now, that plastic impeller becomes fragile, brittle, and eventually will just shoot off into your engine, causing, well, either damage, long-term, short-term, or at the very minimum, a overheating engine, which requires you to basically get a new water pump. Now, they can be quite expensive, depends on where you go, what country you live in. Over here in England, I paid £500. That's probably like $600. I don't know any of the other conversion rates, but it's quite costly, and if that has not been done, you can probably knock some money off. When you go for a refit of that water pump, they normally fit a metal impeller rather than a plastic one, just for a little bit more longevity. So with that being said, that's probably one of the most expensive fixes on this car mechanically. The rest of things, they're just general maintenance, and if you don't change the oil, you don't change the cam belt, anything like that, eventually it's going to wear down. We're not talking about issues that relate to just normal wear and tear, like, I don't know, the brakes or the tyres. We're talking issues that come from factory that they probably should have foresaw that in 10 years time that will probably break. Next on my list is the LCD screen on the Speedo. So that central kind of LCD screen, I'm not even sure if it's LCD. Either way, that breaks, it fades. Over time, you won't be able to read any of the dials. Thankfully, mine still works. In cold weather, it won't work. If it's kind of warm, as in today, it's like 5 degrees. It's not really warm, is what I meant. It's not. I don't walk out and instantly freeze. It works fine. So that's another issue to look out for. Some are really bad to the point that you can't even see any of the screen. So if that's the case, then you can probably knock off 100 quid and say, look, I want to get a new LCD screen in there. But thankfully mine is perfectly fine, no issues, unless it's the same temperature as the Antarctic. One thing this car really suffers with is rust. I guess any car of this era, if they're left outside in, you know, going from cold to warm environments, the rust will be an issue. Now in this car, it's no different. The arches on this car will rust. Thankfully mine have not. I think the owner previous to me basically garaged the car when he wasn't using it or she wasn't using it. However, I've seen Mark IV Golf GTIs with some quite severe rust from the wheel arches. So when you're buying a Mark IV Golf GTI, just make sure you kind of tap the wheel arches. Make sure that if there is rust there, it's just surface rust that can be dealt with and nipped in the bud. You know, if you're kind of knocking it and you think that your knuckle could probably just fall through the metal, I probably wouldn't buy that Golf GTI. This is the bane of my life, and mine is definitely broke. So lock, unlock your car, fine. The driver's side, thankfully, will unlock all the time. The rest of the doors are very temperamental, they just don't work. I have to keep pressing the button, and maybe on like the 8th or 9th time they'll finally unlock. So if that's the case, then you probably need to change out the locking system. I heard it's quite an annoying job. I'm not going to do it. As long as my driver's side always unlocks, you can then come in and you can hit the button on the inside, which normally works. If that doesn't work, I can just keep pressing it and eventually they'll unlock. Really annoying, but it's such a small issue, you could probably knock off 50 quid. Now, when it comes also to the locking mechanism, on the rear, the boot latch will rust away. Mine's rusted away. Basically water gets into the locking system and it just rusts away from the inside out, and therefore you can't use the boot. So in order to unlock the boot, I now have to use a key, and when I've got the key turned, I then can pop the boot open. Again, it's annoying, but it's just one of those things. I guess it's just general wear and tear, but no other old car I've ever had has kind of that issue. So I'm going to say it's exclusive to this car. While we're talking about locking systems and the security of your car, the electric windows. My driver's side works, none of the other ones do. So that would be quite an expensive job and quite labour intensive. You need to take all the door cards out and replace the regulator, the window regulator in the doors. So I would need to do 3. You could probably knock off 100 quid if that's the case, as it's quite labour intensive, quite expensive. Thankfully, my driver's side window still opens, so I'm not going to bother. Another issue with the Mark IV Golf GTI, it's probably one of the most annoying ones. I mean, if all the other things weren't annoying, this will definitely gripe you. So reverse is on these cars, you push the gear stick down, or in England you do, down and then to the left and up. Now, most cars that would then trigger the reverse lights. You put in the car into reverse, there's a switch there that then tells the lights, hey, we need to display a signal to drivers behind. Well, of course the Mark IV Golf GTI would be troubled with an issue whereby you put the car into reverse and those lights don't trigger. Now, I don't know why this is the case. Although the gearbox is kind of clumpy anyway, at the best of times, when I put mine into reverse, it will not display rear reverse lights, which is extremely annoying, especially trying to park in the dark. You don't realise how bright reverse lights are when you're looking in your mirrors. The light you see at night when you're reversing is more than likely your reversing lights and not your kind of normal lights on the side. So that's really annoying. I've heard of a few stories of this. It's not a massive common issue, but it's just something to look out for when you're buying a car. You probably should be looking at all the lights. Do they work? The indicators, the hazard lights. what electrics are working and what are not. However, when I bought this car, the reverse lights were working. Now they're not. I've changed the bulbs, I've changed the fuse. The switch is located obviously in the gearbox, not in the gearbox, but kind of the top side of the gearbox. It's quite an easy fix. It's about 20 minutes, I've heard, and I've seen a few YouTube videos. It doesn't seem that hard to fix, but it's just one of those things that you can probably knock 20 quid off. It's annoying at the best of times, and also you'd fail an MOT, so yeah, you need to kind of get it done. So those are my gripes about the Mark IV Golf GTI, and in all truth, it's quite a reliable car. There's nothing that's massively unreliable about it. There's just a few issues that the Golf GTI kind of franchise in general is plagued with, and those are some of them. And just kind of to finish off, this is another issue that is kind of a new issue for me in the Golf GTI. I'm not sure if it's the clutch pack or what, but sometimes it will do it, so it will just drop down to, like, here we go. It's just the most, so my feet are not on the pedals right now. A car should do this, it should pull along in first gear. This is kind of how you crawl along in traffic. My car will then just start to kind of rock. There we go. Just rocking. There's a car behind me now. It's very annoying. No other gears do it, it's just first. So I guess first, it's probably on the way out. But those are the common issues that I have with the Golf GTI. I hope you enjoyed. If they've helped you in any way, shape or form, or you have any of these issues, then obviously drop down in the comments below if you fix them or you're going to just leave them. It does add a bit of character to the car, I think. So thanks for all the support. I'm sorry that there's not been that many videos recently. Haven't really been able to help it. I've been away and I've been kind of planning videos anyway, so things are in the pipeline. I've got some ideas for this Golf. I just kind of need to action them. But when I was looking for my Golf, I couldn't find a video like this, and it's something that probably would have helped me, and I'm sure it'll help other people too. It's just nice to know where the common issues lie with your car, and I didn't know, so yeah, I mean, there we go. Still do like the sound of that 1.8 turbo kind of chiming into life, and that ram air filter does sound good, you know. Under like high revs with aggressive driving, it sounds pretty awesome. Anyway, this isn't a driving vlog. I just thought I'd end the video with kind of a point of view drive, and just to show you that issue with the clutch or first gear. I'm not really sure what it is, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Remember to hit that like button down below and subscribe if you've not already, or you want to see more Golf GTI videos. Anyway, until that next video, whenever that might be, hopefully over the next few days, I shall see you guys soon. Take care.